What's going on, everybody? Welcome to On Screen Live. My name is Andrew Jupin. Happy Monday. Good afternoon, good evening, or good morning, depending upon where you are finding our fine program today. Hey, happy birthday, Donald Sutherland. One of the all-time greats turns 88 today. Another great guy, Alex Winter, of course. Happy birthday to him, 58. Check out his new movie, The YouTube Effect. Great guy, great actor, great filmmaker. And what else are we going on? Hello, Bucyrus87, Sandwich Jones. I love that. Very Gooster. Hello. Sauce Billigan, Michael Brooks, A Chance 42. Thanks for hanging out in the chat. And hey, congratulations to Dead & Company for rounding out their farewell tour just last night in San Francisco. Thanks for the music, fellas. All right, so speaking of good guys and good fellas and good buds of mine, let's bring him in here to talk about some movies and movie-related business. We have up first Mr. Eric Siska.
Oh, hello.
Hello there.
We definitely have to keep this going, like an entertainment tonight, like the birthday segment. Yep. I kind of like that.
Yeah, right? Because I just noticed dude, so here's the thing. It was like Donald Sutherland trending. I was like, gut-goo.
Uh-oh.
And I had to click on that.
That's his birthday. Tomorrow he'll be dead. The next time he trends, he'll be dead.
That's right. Speaking of someone who could wake up dead at any second, Mr. Steven Sadak.
Hi, everybody. Hi.
Hello.
I got to say, just because I saw it in the chat, very Gooster, you're right. I can't wait for our Jersey City show as well.
That's right.
Coming up at the end of the year.
Right,
here.
on December 7th at White Eagle Hall in New Jersey, Jersey City, New Jersey.
It's pretty fun. They all around New Jersey, they plaster signs that we're coming. It's fun to be part of the conversation.
Pretty cool.
And by conversation, I mean the crazy meth heads that hang out outside of the liquor store / pharmacy.
Nice. Is that close to the venue? Can our fans meet and greet them?
They're about a 7-minute walk away.
Okay, there you go. They could do the whole night.
I'll take a picture with yous.
The whole experience.
I was in there the other day, and some guy was like, "You keep kicking people out of here, man. It's just like, guess you don't like money." And he's like, "Well, you tried to steal something." And he's like, "Yeah, but if I was running the place, I'd be like, come on in, your money's always good here." And I was like,
oh, wow.
Yeah.
Hey,
awesome.
speaking of dudes who've been kicked out of a liquor store or two, please welcome Chris Cabin.
Well, then the last thing I ever wanted to do was to actually get into the ring with Van Morrison, but it turned out I had to. I had to bare knuckle box Van Morrison to use his song in my beautiful movie Until the End of the World. And you know what? I knocked out that Irish prick.
Hey, excellent stopping point, Chris. Is that the end of a chapter there?
Yeah, it's the end. Oh, I mean, it's a collection. This is Wim Wenders' emotional pictures.
What a beautiful writer.
Wonderful guy. And it's just like little bits on like movies and songwriters he likes and songwriters he beat up.
Oh, okay.
So,
I would love that. Just a diary of violence,
There's plenty of them, Eric.
Yeah, that's actually true.
Vim Vendor's A Diary of Violence. I like that.
Yeah, very, very off key for Vim, but I like when people try new things. Speaking of new things, we got a new movie that's #1 at the box office. Let's check around what's going on in the top 5. This is Highest Gross. So I have to say right out the gate, by the way, out of the top 5, first time since its release, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Finally.
Via Con Dios. Who knows? I mean, it may tick back up next week, but for right now, in at number 5 was the money pit known as Elemental.
Isn't it kind of coming back? Is that happening?
It's kind of slowly doing something. I mean, not enough that it's not going to make this $200 million budget embarrassing, but it is holding in nicely.
Yeah. Okay.
Word of mouth. They heard it's a very steamy movie. Fire and water get together.
Disney is doing a very interesting marketing bit where they're paying it forward to themselves.
Yes, that's
they're
right.
spending their own money and then giving it back to themselves.
Help Bob Iger have a robust holiday season this
He
year.
hates dips, doesn't he, folks? He hates dips.
I fucking hate that guy. Speaking of people I don't hate, Indiana Jones His fifth and final outing was number 4 at the box office.
Still got to get to this one. Really need to do it.
I think it's worth on the big screen if you're going to do it at all.
That's kind of where I'm at. Yeah, I need to get there. But there's a lot of movies coming out this weekend, folks.
No, you're totally right, dude, and more coming. But this is another 12 million. Now puts it around over 145 million domestically. Still not touching that $295 million price tag.
No, I mean, Steve, soon enough. You've got like 2 weeks till this thing's on Disney Plus.
Yeah, that's
the clock is a ticking.
They didn't announce that. You're just being facetious.
No, I'm just. I figure I'm going to hear it any day now.
It would be a fun time on the big screen, though.
I was surprised that Guardians is already on Disney Plus. On the
is it really?
It is, yeah.
Okay, I can finally
watching it.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I might give a look back then, because that was one of those, like, it wasn't what I wanted it to be. And I always say, like, that's not the movie's fault. And that to me is always like reevaluate a little bit. So I might check it out at some point. Not in any rush, of course. Holding in sort of nicely here at number 3 is Insidious: The Red Door. Still making buku bucks, man. Look at this, another 13 million.
Now, none of this 13 million is losers buying tickets, millionaire losers buying tickets to make the movie seem more successful, right? Is that correct?
No, you are correct on that. We will address that. We will address that in seconds.
Okay, just curious. I want to make sure, because some of these numbers get tampered with, and you don't know which is which.
You're very true.
Only Disney and Jim Caviezel have that kind of power to do that stuff.
This is now putting it just north of 58 million on a $16 million budget. So
that's what you want to see.
Sony is having a good time this summer with that. And
Go Patrick Wilson. Go Patrick Wilson.
Patrick Wilson. Patrick Wilson. Yeah, love that dude, man.
My guy.
And I assume at some point get ready for Insidious 6, The Green Door. What's behind the green door?
Oh, that'd be nice.
My mom is dead behind the green door.
Watch it, because you're definitely going to get a slowed down of that version of that song as the trailer is sung.
Right, with the Victorian ghost doing it.
Sure.
But here's what we're talking about. Number 2 at the box office in its second week, Sound of Freedom. Now look at these numbers here. Another 27 million.
Wow.
It now is just north of 85 million domestic. It added over 300 screens for this week. Now, Steve, as you talked about, they have instituted this thing, the Pay It Forward initiative for this movie. Now, Steve, could you explain to the viewers at home just what that is?
I don't know about that. Please, thank you.
Go for it.
Like you can buy out theaters, you can buy tickets, and there are places where it's listed of like theaters where they have like screenings that have, these are available tickets if you want to come and see the movie for free.
Right.
You can. I know the UFC guy Dana White has done a major purchase.
Sure, anything to get away from his fucking battery stories. Sure.
And then there was a couple other majors that I'm forgetting at this moment, but that's essentially anybody can go in and see the movie if they so wish.
But these psychos, they're obsessed with like trafficking children and all this type of stuff. But pay it forward by not having fucking kids. Stop it. You want them not to be touched? Don't fucking have them.
Good point.
Good one.
But here's the thing, though.
The
thing that's very important about this, though, is what we want people to understand about this number here. This does not necessarily equate to audience interest. As Chris said, this is like people are just mass buying tickets, and should you choose, you could go up and see it for free. But as far as like theaters reporting grosses are concerned, and certainly as far as Angel Studios is concerned, the money is money. Exactly right. But this does not mean that $27 million worth of ticket holders went through a theater door this weekend and saw this fucking movie. It just means this is the money that was put towards tickets, and they will never, just like how you will never see legitimate streaming numbers. I mean, maybe, if the strike can pull through some stuff here, that'll change. But like, just how you don't see that now, you will never see what that equates to as far as like actual ticket exchanged for ass in seat. You'll never see it.
Well, but it's such an important movie, guys. It's such an important movie. I mean, and if you are against it, then I guess you must like children getting trafficked, which I think is pretty weird on
Dude,
your part.
it's literally what someone said to me on social media over the weekend. What kind of a person is against a movie blowing the lid on this? And it's like
blowing the lid, by the way.
On what?
Documentary film here.
It's a
That's what a journalist did.
dramatized,
Sorry.
motion picture.
Did you guys see the videos going around of like the white women having conspiracies about this movie? About like, well, there's no air conditioning in the theater because they want it to fail.
Something's fishy. Something's fishy.
They got
kids smell right.
They got kids downstairs, I bet.
Yeah. Me and Joel Schumacher were watching. We're trying to watch Spectre, and then they put on Spotlight, and we're like, "Oh my god, it's Hollywood's plan to stop me from watching this new James Bond movie."
Yep,
that's right.
From blowing the lid off Christoph Waltz being his cousin or whatever the fuck.
Summer Vacation Brothers, I believe.
That's
landed on.
Stepbrother is.
Yeah.
And this is more about, I think, what we're getting at here. And speaking of Schumachers, Steve, a viewer in the chat, Daniel Schumacher, makes this excellent point. It does occur to him that this money could be spent actually fighting child trafficking instead of playing movies in empty theaters. You're absolutely fucking right. And this is what we're getting to. This is a fictionalized, dramatized narrative film. Even documentaries are skewed, man. So no one's blowing the lid off anything. You're right. You want to help people, Dana White? Donate millions to fucking organizations that do this.
And I saw something, some asshole, some lunatic was like, I just watched this movie, and like the next time you see a kid in a grocery store having a panic attack or freaking out, having to throw a tantrum, you got to check that out, because 9 times out of 10, that's just a kid doing a tantrum. The other time, it's somebody getting like, no, 999,000 times out of 1 million is a tantrum.
Well,
.0000001.
I get your meaning, Steve, but still, I think you should just steal the kid just to be safe. right there, just take the kid, and you know what? It's going to be safer with you. You know it in your heart. You watch Jim Caviezel pretend to be a guy who did this stuff. Don't you think that you now know better than everybody fucking else?
Just start asking, hey, is that your kid? Hey, is that your kid? Is that your kid? Is that your kid?
Yeah.
Holding hands with a kid in public.
How about
sounds pretty gay to me. Is that your kid?
Mind your own fucking business, all right?
How about that? Yep. Go to the store, get your fucking Miller Lite, and get the fuck out.
No. Oh, that would be too depressing. No. If they mind their own business, they're going to get really sad.
Because when I leave the house, I become a justice warrior. Well, not social justice.
No, just justice warriors.
Right. As in a Supreme Court justice warrior.
Yeah. And we'll talk about it, of course, a little later, but no surprise here. Number 1 at the box office, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, which wound up being about 56.2 on the 3-day. Did a little over 80 on the 5-day. So, like, not an amazing opening, but with global, it's on track to being much better than indie and some of the other big money wasters we've seen so far this season.
The Flash.
Like The Flash, exactly.
Indeed.
And then just a couple quick things on the art market this weekend. Theater Camp opened from Searchlight Pictures. Saw this at Sundance last year. And where do we have this here? It was or Sundance, I guess, earlier this year. $270K in a limited release on 6 screens. That's about $45K per. And this is another thing just to point out, just like Asteroid City, 50% of this box office was between 25 and 34-year-old
nice.
Audience members.
Good
Very
cast.
cool. Good
really
cast. It's a funny movie. It's like a less good Waiting for Guffman, but it's funny. Searchlight paid $8 million out of Sundance, which is not the worst that they've paid out of things at Sundance.
Am I remembering correct? Molly Gordon is in it. Who is
Molly Gordon?
Favorite.
Yeah, she's one of the
She's
co-directors along with Nick Lieberman too.
Fantastic,
totally funny movie. And then another one, really quickly, the new one from Christian Petzold, who's an amazing filmmaker. A Fire opened, very limited, from our friends at Janus and Sideshow. With 39.2K on 4 screens, which is 9.8K per. Not too bad, but Christian Petzold makes excellent movies.
I'm seeing it tomorrow.
To see this. Oh, you got your tickets?
I'm gonna go see it tomorrow. Yeah, nice. I especially love, if you are looking for an entryway, Undine, his last movie.
It's great.
Phenomenal piece of work. Just really, really worth your time.
Transit, Phoenix, great movies.
Really
great
good movies.
So yeah, that's what's going on in the box office here. Now, real quick, as far as the home video market concerns, want to do a little self-serving plug here, folks.
Ooh.
Scream 6.
Yes.
There we go. Is on Blu-ray and digital now. You can rent that, and if you get the disc, the commentary, just gonna say it, drops a little more clues as to how we got our art in the motion picture.
We came out of the ceiling like Thomas Cruise.
That's right.
Placed it on the wall.
Stole the knock list, put the poster on the wall.
Yeah,
That's-
exactly.
I can imagine myself at a Best Buy trying to buy the last Scream 6. There's a blurb about me in there. A blurb? You are a blurb.
Then you get the shit beat out of you in airplane bathroom.
Exactly.
So we just wanted to put that out there. Now, as we were saying, folks, of course, shit ton of movies coming out and more on the way. It never stops. And one of the ways we keep track of it all is with a tiny, cleverly titled segment we like to call Trailer Segment. Now, as always, if you're watching along on YouTube, we do have the link below in the show description if you want to watch along. First one up, speaking of the mouse, the full trailer for Ahsoka.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man,
Television program coming out, I guess, soon.
Yeah. Is she a Skrull in this? Is that how that works?
Yeah, that
Yes,
is right.
I believe so.
That's why she's all on the face.
Got it.
I gotta tell, I am watching that Secret Invasion, dude, and if I never hear the word scroll again, it'll be way too fucking soon. Holy
You know what?
shit.
Jack Kirby and Stan Lee were smoking pot, like Skrull, sure. They never expected real adults to say that out loud.
no.
Nope. And I got it. That's exactly right, dude. Some of these like comic to film or television translations, like I'll read the word scroll and that's totally fine. But hearing Samuel L. Jackson and Ben Mendelsohn yelling scroll,
It's just you can't do stuff like that because it sounds way too closely to you just saying skull with a baby voice. Squall! I'm gonna go see a squall.
Yeah,
I gotta go find all the skulls.
You're totally right. It sucks even more now. Shit, man. All right, so here we go. Ahsoka 823 on Disney P. Starting this trailer up. You fellas ready there?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
All righty. 3, 2, 1, go.
The spaceship.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Uh,
I don't know if I'm ready to. I was just gonna say that. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
fine.
right there. Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
life is so fucking unfair, man. Oh, take that, old man. Oh, wow, take that, old man.
Yeah, I've
into
not
it.
seen this yet. I do like it when I see an old man get killed.
Absolutely. Here we go. They even say heir to the empire.
Kind of liking the cinematography here. You know, like a
It's
good
looking
look
pretty
for the
good.
show.
It's dark, but not. I can't see it dark, which there's a difference. Now here we go. Some cartoon people.
Do you think like halfway through this show, a different character from a different Filoni cartoon is going to come in and take over from Ahsoka?
Oh,
Maybe.
shit.
Just maybe.
Possibly.
Was that Mary Elizabeth Winstead?
I
Yes,
think
as
so, yeah.
Hera, the Twi'lek green lady.
Got it.
Oh, very nice.
She was a Rebels character. So was purple hair here.
Yeah.
Got it.
The purple hair woman sometimes wears the Mando helmet.
Yes,
Right,
she is a Mando.
All right.
Sabine Wren, I think the character.
Yeah. Oh, good call. Yeah.
Just.
Oh, I like that
hey,
haircut,
that-
Sabine. Okay.
that made the trailer. The haircut made the trailer. That's kind of weird.
You know what? I'm not seeing any de-aged puppet Mark Hamill, so I'm happy.
So
Yeah,
far,
so
so
far.
good. As far. Oh wow,
Oh,
look at
boy.
that. Okay.
Yeah, I haven't seen Thrawn actually walk around before in front. Thrawn from the front. Nice.
Thrawn from the front. These effects are all looking pretty good.
Yeah.
It's almost as if we took a little more time making this show.
Yeah.
I mean, this is probably the show that Filoni and crew wanted to make from the start, and everything else has been whatever.
Right. 2 episode premiere. Okay.
Who is Thrawn this time around? Or
It's a Mickelson, right?
Yes, Lars Mikkelsen.
Oh.
Yeah, the older brother of Mads, who actually voiced him on the cartoon.
Got
and he was
it.
in the press saying he wasn't going to be in it, but he is. Oh my God. My YouTube just went to a fucking ad with Steve Bannon on it.
Okay,
Oh,
there you go,
what?
dude.
My algorithm is
God.
really good, huh?
Yeah.
What am I watching?
Good job, Steve.
Yeah. Some people in the chat here not too thrilled about Ahsoka, but I guess we'll see.
We will see. We won't be recapping it, but we might talk about it down the line in like a season recap type of deal.
Like we did with Andor.
I think it's interesting, but like I just think a lot of people are getting to oversaturation point with this.
Of course,
yeah, of course.
Yeah, I just think, and like I think that's fair. I understand that completely.
But you know, it's funny how
something out. I'm not reacting negatively to it. I don't care.
But it's never enough Star Trek, though. That's fine. Keep it coming.
Oh, the boatloads.
Hey, man, Strange New Worlds. It's great.
I hear good things. I hear really good things.
It's a really fun show that fucking looks really good. I have to say, that's like one thing Paramount's got over on these Disney shows. Like, we are putting money into the computer design of stuff. Like, the ships look really great. You know, I would recommend it heartily.
Yeah, I really do want to check it out. Since I'm, the only person that watched Hell on Wheels.
Yeah, your favorite.
yeah,
that's right. Dude, your man's all over, dude. And he's like cooking food. That's like Pike's thing, is he's a chef and wine guy.
Eric, I got to tell you, I found out there is, I'm going to send it to you later. There is a Lifetime movie starring Anson Mount.
You fucking joking?
I'm not joking.
What the fuck did we record over the other day for? We've done that movie.
Just cancel it out.
Oh, shit.
Delete those files, Andrew. Don't release that Lifetime episode we recorded.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
So now for something that at least I'm much less enthused about here.
Oh, boy.
Just whatever.
Okay.
Wonka.
I have not seen this trailer yet. I'm excited. I hope we get to see him taste chocolate for the first time.
Oh yeah, you wanted the fucking origin story of his fucking love affair with chocolate, dude. How did it start? How did the factory start?
I was looking for a way to kill as many dogs as possible.
But the only thing more profitable than dog murder is selling candy.
Nobody could figure out what to do with all the poor children, so I thought of a way to drown them all.
Turn them into chocolate. Make it more of a Sweeney Todd thing.
Yeah, sure.
Eating little kid bars. Absolutely.
I can't. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch this trailer.
We're about to do it right now.
Yeah,
and
okay.
I have not seen this either. I don't fucking know. But this is 12:15 from Warner Brothers. Another great decision on their part as a company. The only saving grace I'll say before seeing this trailer, it's directed by Paul King, who did the two Paddington movies, which are fucking delightful.
Really good.
That, I think, has way more to do with Paddington himself than the director. So I don't know. But here we go with the Wonka trailer. Oh, God, I can't even believe I'm saying it. In 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, Timmy, don't.
Already.
Timmy, don't. Timmy, no.
Tim.
I hate this already.
No.
I'm sorry. I just, oh
No,
God.
he's not suited for this, like, at all.
Nope.
Like this like, he's a good actor, but he's quiet, and you know what I mean. Like,
You should have got a comedian or something.
Oh, what's his face from Downton Abbey?
Yeah. I'm liking the cast.
I just, oh
No.
God. Oh,
Well, I guess like kiosks are illegal in this town or whatever.
oh yeah, not without a permit, dude.
Yeah, and the mail's didn't exist yet, so you need a brick and mortar.
That's right.
Oh, and the producer.
Oh, it's not helping.
No.
No, producer.
Comparing this to Harry Potter is not a way to get me in the theater.
Yeah.
No.
Ooh.
Oh, wait, is that from Peep Show?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh shit! Now he's gonna have to convince everyone to fart to get back down.
I mean, no.
Jesus Christ. My name is Willy Wonka.
He doesn't have it.
It's awful.
And I normally like him. I love watching him eat people.
Yes.
Sure.
He's not that guy, and that's not a problem. It's just don't do this movie.
Like, I will watch him literally weeks before this rule ass as Paul Atreides, but no. Oh, Sally Hawkins is involved. The poor woman.
Ugh.
Oh, fuck all of this right off.
Oh no.
Oh,
Hugh, no.
oh, that's Hugh Grant.
Oh yeah, that's Hugh Grant right there.
Oh, fuck everything.
Oh, so he's the first Oompa Loompa, and then he like makes
Yeah.
the rest by
He
like.
breeds him.
You eat him
Yeah.
after midnight, and then Oompa Loompa
Whoa,
bubbles
wait,
pop off
okay.
his back.
That'd be great. Little
I don't know
bubbles.
about that.
That looks abysmal, folks.
It does. It's just like scraping the bottom of the IP. I don't know. You want Willy Wonkers? We got Wonkers here.
Because
you know?
Cruella did so well. Here's
Yes.
this.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. That's
Poor Timmy, man. It's somebody should have told him, don't do that, dude.
Tim, you deserve better.
You do.
I think he's gonna survive. I mean, like they've probably several dump trucks of money was.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, no, I'm sure. I mean,
It looks terrifying.
here's the thing: if you're
can't
Timmy,
mince
though,
words.
you want that to be swapped. You want Dune to be the last bite people get of the
I
year.
guess that's probably true.
You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
or you want to dump that in the summer, and then Dune comes out in November, and it's like, man,
Yeah.
that it sucked in that fucking Wonka movie. Hey, you know what
yeah,
I mean? Like that-
totally. So it can swoop. The pendulum can swing back in the other direction.
exactly.
Holy God, I
Yeah.
can't. That's worse than I thought it was going to be.
Mhm.
Awful. Paul says it's a holiday movie. It'll make money.
It absolutely will.
Probably, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
End of the year stuff.
Doesn't
like,
mean it's going to be worth a goddamn though.
You know, because everyone at home, because housing prices, you can't afford shit anymore. You're sleeping in bed with
Yeah.
your grandpies right there
Mhm.
with you.
yes.
You got to do everything with them now. So you go to the theater with them for Wonka.
it would be
So-
more relatable if it was more talking about that. All the people who are sleeping with their grandfathers and mothers all night long. But like,
Oh.
yeah, it's more of a like, hey, small business, right? Come on.
Yeah, all the Grampy polycules that are out there in England.
Yes, of course.
Yeah,
Uh,
Wonka filling out his
Grampy
fucking LLC forms and shit, trying to get the company on the books.
Someone in the chat here, Danielle, says they said they only hired him because they watched videos of him dancing.
Oh,
It
that.
was even worse than that. It was a character that he had while I think at NYU or he was in high school or something that was like he was Timmy the rapper or something.
Yes, I've
And
seen
like
this video.
supposedly
Yeah.
like didn't have to audition because they saw whatever that was, and that was like, that's our Willy Wonka.
Mhm.
Maybe ask around. Maybe just see if there was anyone else available that you may have had interest in.
Because you just need somebody with more brightness, more bombacity, and it's just no. And again, that's not every actor. That's okay. It's
Yeah.
totally
Yeah.
okay.
Not every actor, needs to be able to do everything, and this is clearly the case. Greg here corrects me, it was not NYU, but yes, LaGuardia High School.
Might as well
Oh,
be
no.
NYU.
Yeah, pretty much.
You're going to LaGuardia, right?
Jan actually has it right here. Golden ticket to The Last Action Hero. You're right, Jan. That is my fucking golden ticket movie. That's
Mhm.
all I
Yes,
give a shit about.
of course.
So there you go, folks. I don't know.
Pretty
Truly, I'm like, fuck, man. I'm almost rendered
It's tough.
speechless by watching that. I had no clue it was going to be that bad, and I'm almost ready to apologize for adding that to trailer segment. My God. But so we'll see. Maybe we'll see in January, motherfucker. I don't know. I do not know. But anyway, on screen this weekend, of course, was Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning, Part 1. Had this come out. Christopher McQuarrie, of course, directing. What do we think, fellas? Hop in.
Well, first off, I want to get something off my chest. I
Mm.
always say I knock the British on this show, but it's because I secretly love them. And if
Mm.
Carrie Elways or Haley Atwell asked me to betray my country, I would do it in a heartbeat
Really?
because I love them both in this movie.
Yes.
And it's
Hell
it's-
yeah, dude.
Yeah, I have some problems with the movie, but I loved it. And of course, the return of Kittredge.
This should be
Yeah.
Mission Impossible Babe Reckoning. Just the
Yes.
babitude in this film.
It's a
Mm.
pretty babelicious entry in the franchise, Steve. I will give you that. A lot of babes.
Oh, wait.
They're all looking great. They're all.
They are.
looking
I'm gonna
great.
stay like
Very
this for a while.
Very hunkalicious. It
Yes,
was also a
of
very
course.
hunkalicious
Yeah.
movie.
Yes. I mean, Eastside Morales, holy fuck, dude. I am
Yeah.
here for the Morales-assance because
yeah.
he was great in The Master Gardener. And like, that's the first time I'd seen him in a long time. I was like, oh shit, Eastside Morales is in this movie. That rules. And then he's the villain in Mission Impossible. And he's really great in this movie.
Yeah, like terrifyingly so.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Master Gardener yet, but I couldn't like pinpoint the last time I saw him in something new.
Yes.
I didn't know, and I was like, oh man, like he's back, and like this is something, dude. Like get this guy back in motion pictures ASAP. He's got the fucking juice, man.
Yes.
Question for Steve: did you ever watch Caprica?
Yes, a little
he
bit.
Played Joseph Adama, like
that's right.
Edward James Olmos's father.
Oh,
really?
I watched like 2 or 3 episodes, and I liked the cast, but then I was like, nah. And yes, yeah.
I didn't finish it either.
No.
I think that was the entirety of the Battlestar fan community watched about 2 or 3 episodes and got the gist.
Sure, yeah.
I will say, oh, go ahead, Stebbs.
No, I mean, I will say I had a lot of fun with it. I thought, I kind of think the first, I don't know. I know they're setting up. That's my problem with this. It is a part 1, and all part 1s
I agree.
have a lot extra shit, and the ending can't be as final as you want it to be.
Sure.
Those are just things you have to accept going.
It was a bullshit ending. We can say it.
Well, that also, but like I think other than the first, like the opening scene in the submarine, other than that, I think you could cut a lot of that stuff out before you hit the airport, and that's when things really start going.
There's a 2 hour and 20-minute version of this movie, or a 2 hour 15 that is much better, and it has all the beats. Nothing.
Yes.
Again, there's a job of what's it called? Oh, editor. Right. Jesus Christ. That is, it's their job to make movies compressed and exciting and short and like interesting. And I think that like
impactful.
I think. Exactly. The 248, it feels bloated, especially since, as we're talking about, doesn't really the quote unquote lack of an ending didn't bother me here for whatever reason.
Either.
Like,
it's
the part 1 part of it. You know what I mean? Like, I knew that we were going to end on a question mark.
But that's going to be every movie from now on.
It's a good point. Yeah, no, it is.
I will say that I think I was surprised by the fact that I have seen this man go off that fucking cliff on that motorcycle.
Yes.
No fewer than 35 times since they started advertising this movie. But fellas, I'm here to tell you that when it happens in the movie, you're talking this fucking ape man here had both fists in the air, fucking howling, woohooing. It still looked awesome. And the fact that we're catching dialogue from Ethan Hunt while he's plummeting through the sky, that was an awesome surprise.
Yeah.
The fact that like Tom Cruise is able to fucking speak lines of the movie while doing this stunt was really fucking cool. I thought like all the set pieces, like the airport set piece, which is just like your gigundo like spy espionage set piece. It's low on action but high on moves and tech and all that stuff was great.
Which I did appreciate. I think this movie, and I mean, I have a weird like mind blindness for these movies. Like I wind up liking them a lot, but then I forget most of the specifics, and the second it's over, and it's not not the movie's fault, it's probably mine.
There's a lot going on in all of these movies. Yeah,
this movie, I think, more than others, did a really good job of mashing the espionage and the stunt together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I mean, like obviously the first one's pure espionage, and then back mostly stunt, goes really stunt heavy. It was nice to see a lot of spy stuff in this one.
And not to give anything away, really, we're staying like relatively spoiler free. But Chris, I know one of the things that you love so much about Ghost Protocol kind of makes a return here, which is at times in the movie technology failing them.
Yes.
Yes.
I think that's key.
And having to like Ethan Hunt, he's always got to improvise. The team always has to think on their feet, and like it does it in a really cool way. Like getting into the third act, that I was like, nice. Like the technology failing them, the reason, like the thing that happens is what sets up all the incredible stuff you see in the third act, which was really great.
And we'll get a little plotty here. Just the whole AI bit, the entity thing that we keep kind of going back to as the big bad. I kept going back and forth in my head, like, is this stupid? Like I just I had like that a lot.
Oh really? I was thinking it was perfect for the times we're in.
I landed on that. I did, but occasionally, like I'm like, sometimes when it gets a little too like, because like Isai Morales like worships it in weird ways, and I'm like, what is that about? Like, and we don't really get that answer. So I'm like, is this stupid? But
I mean, I see what you're saying, and I think that for me the issue is like it's so nakedly like the metatext is right there, right? It's Tom Cruise, the last movie star against algorithms and AI
Yes,
taking
yeah,
over
right.
the movie business.
Yeah.
And I like that as an idea, and I like that it's so upfront. But also, guess what I just watched? Top Gun Maverick, which
Yeah.
is the same thing.
Yeah, yeah.
The
True, that's
beginning is
fair.
him, and like
And a
that is
better movie.
much better movie, I would say. I
It
know
is,
Yeah,
that
I
of course.
agree.
Yeah, it is.
And what's his name? The guy who's with John Hamm is also in this in one scene.
Charles Parnell. Is
Yeah,
it?
Yes.
yeah. He's got
Which
one
was
scene.
He's
That-
great when he pops up.
Yeah.
so that opens up the Kittredge Assance, dude.
Ugh.
Henry Czerny
Mm.
back in this role. I would really
it.
love to like hear from like McQuarrie and those guys. Like, what was the impetus for this? Like, was there besides the four of us incessantly talking about him? Like, was there some bubbling on the internet? Like, dude, Henry Czerny is fucking Kittredge. He's got to get back in the franchise,
It's so
guys.
interesting that they bring him back. And this movie mirrors the first movie in a lot of
Yes,
ways,
yes.
like with the train and stuff. And it's
Yes.
just fascinating that they're just like, why don't we just bring that guy back from that when we're
Yes.
doing that?
I mean,
I think
it
that's
works.
probably what you're like. Hey, how do we? Let's go back to the beginning. Like, oh wow, that guy was really good. Like, is he available? Oh shit, let's put him in the movie.
I just imagine Christopher McQuarrie hosting screenings of Ready or Not, and being like,
Yes.
look, he's got the juice, fellas. Let's just do it. Come
He
on.
really does.
Or
I love
Scream
him.
6. He's also in Scream 6.
Yes,
for
Scream
a
6,
hot
of course.
Well, you know what was kind of distracting was the fact that Shea Wingham is in this
minute. Oh,
movie.
love that.
Yes.
guy.
Also with
dude.
Haley Atwell, they were on Agent Carter together. He was
Oh.
her boss. So I was like, what's going on?
I
there's
didn't
a
know
little-
he was on that. Oh,
Yeah.
I feel like Haley Atwell's been waiting a long time for this movie. I don't know,
Yes.
like I just
Yeah.
like because they kind of set her up in the first Avenger, and she's really good in that. And people like the Agent Carter show, and then but it got canceled because due to lack of interest.
It
And
was
then,
a
like-
dumb show, but I watched it because of her and the action. The action was really
Yeah.
good in it.
And it just her career is just getting kind of like I'm waiting around, and like this, she's really good in this. It's a really
Yeah.
cool character. I mean, it's just another in the army of very attractive women that Tom Cruise has to manage or take care of or run afoul of. Pon Clementif, by the way.
yes. Oh
A
yeah.
Fantastic.
I've been waiting for a number 2 in an action movie this cool for a
Yes.
while. I think
She's
I don't know.
cool, and the character's a fucking psycho in like
Yes.
all the best ways. Like
Yes.
that kind of like that Xenia Onatopp thing of
a
like
little bit,
I'm
yes.
getting horned up by violence.
Yes.
Oh, me
Mwah.
too. Me too.
Oh yeah.
Well, she's smiling while she's driving over cars and shit. You know
yes,
what I mean?
dude. That's a great little bit. Not really a spoiler, but there's a part where Ethan drives a car over a bunch of scooters, and it's Tom Cruise like fucking scooters, right? It's just like these are fake motorcycles, folks. That's what Ethan Hunt's telling you. Yeah, Palm I thought was totally great. Atwell, totally great. Yeah, they were nice additions to the cast. And Shea Wingham, man, this dude, it's his moment, man. He's fucking great in this as like one of the 2 Kittredge stooges. The other guy is also in Top Gun Maverick.
Yes, he's one of the guys. Yeah, one of the pilots.
His nickname's Tarzan. I can't think of the rest of his name.
I forget it, yeah.
But I thought the 2 of them were great as like the Kittredge stooges. And if you want more great Shea Wingham, you guys, that fucking now it's abhorrent that it's canceled. That Perry Mason show on HBO.
Very good in it.
He's in both of those seasons. He's got way more of a larger role in the second season. He's just a great fucking actor.
Yeah.
Purchase alum.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
they
there's
produce
that.
nothing but the best talent.
Also,
right.
if you've ever, if you're a beard aficionado, which I still consider myself, the beard that Shea Wingham is wearing these days, I saw him
I
being
haven't seen it.
interviewed on the red
really?
carpet for for this movie. He is looking phenomenal.
Well, he's got this like rooster thing going on with his
Yeah.
hair in this one. It's he's got some height.
Yeah,
It's like fucking Beavis or Butthead. Like, it's just this
Yeah.
wall and back. It looks better on him than Beavis and Butthead for sure.
For sure, yes.
well,
but
he's
just
getting
all
ready
that-
for his role as older butthead, of course.
Which they do on that new show, and it's quite delightful. Yeah, no, I all that stuff with them in the airport and him just getting fucking pissed off. Like Shea Wingham is an actor who plays getting pissed off like
Yes.
perfectly.
Mhm.
And shit, man, like, what do you say about that train sequence? I mean, first of all, they built the fucking train for
Yes.
the movie.
Right. And we are
Yeah,
getting
that's great.
screwed here in America, folks. We don't have these nice European
jeez.
trains.
Yeah,
I would kill for this. Look at
No,
this thing.
No. Yeah, I mean, they, falls off a cliff, but before that, it's a beautiful.
Well, it's worth it for that dining car.
Yeah, no, I just thought that was all super cool and like nice to see, yeah, like it does echo the first one with, having a train at the end, but this is like now we're on a real train. Like, look how far this franchise has come. This is all real what you're seeing here for the for the most part, obviously, but loved references to shit like the general in that last scene. There's a reference in the Italy car chase scene. I would like to think to Battleship Potemkin, which happens at
it's
one
to
point.
Fast X actually.
Yeah, more important.
Dude,
film.
that honestly is the funniest thing. Is like there are 2 movies this summer that have a chase scene down those steps in Italy, and one of them is Mission
good.
Impossible, and like you're seeing the money on the screen, and the other one is Wacky Racers, fucking cartoon cars. And I am sorry, Vin Diesel, you got beat this summer, man.
They even have a better Wacky Racers bit in this.
Yes,
that's actually true. Yeah, with the little Fiat.
With the Fiat. Taking a little punch at Italian culture. I like it.
Those cars will never not be funny to me. Yeah, so we'll see where this Dead Reckoning Part 2, lands next summer. It's not like it'll be canceled or something. Like, yes, this was a soft opening, but the movie will fucking come out.
I mean, I know that it's they're shooting it. It had to go on hiatus because of the strike.
Yeah, so I mean, the date might move, but like the movie will come out, and that's actually a good point too. Another thing just to bring up about like the budget for this. Like this was like 290 million. I would argue a lot of that you see on screen versus some other movies, but also part of the reason that budget got so jacked up was due to pandemic delays and all of that shit. So like when we're talking about the very real issue, the need for budgets to come down, I would just say that like if you're out there having that conversation, this movie probably isn't one to use as an example because of just the constant delays and literally trying to make this movie during some of the worst parts of the pandemic.
Well, why bother when you got the Flash right there? It's right there. It's right there.
You got that. Indy 5, Elemental. Those are 3 that you could use for your arguments with your friends in the basement. Sipping on Miller High Life and arguing about movies, like I'm sure so many of you do here.
Hey, some of them do it at bars during the day and are just very lonely. So don't, it's not all basement talk.
It's not all basement talk. Yeah, so we'll see, but it was a fun time at the movies, gang. I'll say
Absolutely.
that. So that was literally all that we cared about at the box office this week. But on the home video front, every once in a while you get some actors that have been involved in some big things, and they make themselves, household names to various degrees. But every once in a while, these folks start putting out movies that if you're not, coming into that rental interface with an eagle eye, you are going to miss them. And we try to collect some of those to let you all know about them and maybe recommend them, but more likely caution you against them in a segment we like to call Secret Movie. Now, we got 2 here for you. Steve, I'll hand the reins over to you here because this one that you watched had a little bit of a theatrical release, but not really any kind of a footprint, so it counts as a secret movie.
Nope.
Tell us all about your viewing experiance with Nefarious.
I had look at that poster.
Look at that.
Whoa, he's like shaking his head.
Nefarious.
Oh, and then there's who's that other guy, Steve?
Exactly. Who is that other guy? Indeed, he's a nobody, and that's the problem. Well, I mean, like we saw the trailer. Got home late the other night. And we're like, what do you want to watch? Looking at different stuff, and it was a 90-minute movie, and my wife and I are suckers for like serial killer movies and movies that clearly have a really stupid twist in them that are going to be like that should have come out 25 years ago and let me give this Nefarious try. Didn't even Google anything about it. I saw Sean Patrick Flannery's in it. I was like, awesome, that's going to be really bad.
So
exactly what I'm looking for. And 15 minutes in, 20 minutes in, I'm like, oh no, is this a Christian movie? Because basically the idea is this guy who's an absolute nobody, I'll look up his name, is a prison doctor or is a psychiatrist who has to evaluate Sean Patrick Flannery the day of his execution, because apparently in Oklahoma, if you could be deemed too crazy to be executed up to and including the day of your execution.
Wow.
So then, like, I mean, that's in the movie anyway. And he has to, like, is this guy crazy or is he actually possessed by a demon? And guess what he is? He's possessed by a demon.
Oh,
and
Steve, was this guy was the character Dr. James Martin?
yes.
So it's played by a fella named Jordan Belfi, who you may know from 14 episodes as Adam Davies on Entourage.
Nope.
Oh,
would
my
not.
Lord.
Yeah,
I
a
see
lot of
credited-
TV credits.
Also, here it says Glenn Beck as Glenn Beck. Is that the demon?
That's dude. So like he starts. It's like a demon, and he's like, "Oh, I'm a bad, evil demon." Like Sean Patrick Flannery's doing his best here, and as the other guy from the Boondock Saints, and he's basically doing his best. And then like eventually, he starts talking. He's like, "You, James, are going to commit 3 murders by the time you leave here." And it's like the first one. He's like, "Remember when your mother was in hospice and you allowed her to take her own life? That was murder, James." I'm like,
oh
this
no!
is a
I
secret
don't
Christian
think so.
movie.
Oh no!
Yeah. And then the second one, he's like, "What about your girlfriend, James? Your girlfriend right now, who's actually at the clinic, isn't she? His girlfriend is getting an abortion while the movie is happening."
Wow, what are the odds?
And you let it happen, and that's murder.
That's number 2. That's
Question
murder.
mark?
Yes. And he's like, well, I
Fuck.
love the idea of like being in a serious relationship with somebody and deciding to terminate pregnancy for any reason you'd want, and then being like, "See you later, baby. I left you money for the Uber fare." Like, you've got to go, dude. You can't.
Right.
yeah.
That's an all day
You
event.
got to be a
for every-
gentleman.
Yeah.
Who are you, fucking Damone from Fast Times? Come on.
And then the third one is he winds up signing this dude's death warrant, so he kills him. And like, it's the movie is really just a bad two-hander. It's really a lot of them going back and forth about evil and shit.
Jesus.
And the biggest twist was that Glenn Beck is in the movie for the last 15 minutes. He goes on the
15 minutes.
He goes on the Glenn Beck show and explains. I'm
Nice.
not kidding. I am not kidding.
That's amazing.
Wait,
Lots of fun.
legitimate question though. What Glenn Beck show?
I think that
Mm.
he's got something
Is
somewhere.
there some
probably.
internet
Does.
thing?
Yeah.
Absolutely
yeah.
does.
Yeah, some it's GlennBeck.shit or something.
That's exactly it. Eric. So you're a watcher, you're a fan. Then.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
a big fan.
It's amazing. And look, the angle is so like, because it's like it's his studio, his set.
Yeah.
But they keep cutting to Glenn Beck on the wrong side going like this, and I'm like, dude, you'd be blocking your own camera if you do. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how do you fuck that up? Anyway,
Wow.
definitely don't watch it. Definitely don't accidentally give money to the guys who did God Isn't Dead and Unplanned and shit, which I accidentally did. So don't do that.
Oof.
Absolutely.
That's fucking brutal, man. But see, we're doing, ironically, the Lord's work by fucking telling people not to watch these movies. That sounds abhorrent. And thank you, Steve, because I have seriously been this close to renting that movie at least 3 or 4 times.
Sure, it looks
Yeah.
like a spooky, scary film.
Yeah.
and it is.
Oh,
not.
look at this. Siri's chiming in here. Shut the fuck up. Should deactivate that thing when we're on the air here. So I got another one here. Want to warn you all against this one too. The Black Demon.
I didn't even hear that one.
You know, we love shark movies, don't we, folks? We just love
Yeah.
sharks.
Oh, they got rid of the subtitle. It's The Black Demon, The Tench. Is the name of it. They just, there was a problem with the lawsuit, so they couldn't say trench, but
This is a movie where you got yourself a big fucking cartoon shark being fought by family man Josh Lucas. Now get this. So Josh Lucas plays a guy who works for an oil company.
Wow.
Okay.
Not
And
sure
so he has to go down to, they filmed this in the DR, but I think they're telling you this is like Baja.
Sure.
So he's got to go down, and it's this like, all right, baby, all I'm going to do is quickly do a safety check on this oil rig, and then me, you, and the 2 kids can have a fun vacation in Mexico. And like right from the opening scenes, it's like, look at all these dangerous, scuzzy Mexicans eyeing us every which way we
Oh
walk.
my God. This makes sense. I just saw this guy directed Rambo Last Blood.
Oh,
That makes total sense.
Yep.
Christ.
Dude, 'cause it
my
is-
heart.
So much of this fucking movie is like, you think like Taken is about to start,
Oh boy.
like that kind of shit. You
What
know,
about
or
the
Jim
shark?
Caviezel's gonna jump out.
Yeah, what about the shark?
Dude, let me tell you, there's very little shark in this movie.
The shark
Come
is
on.
like, help me get rid of these Mexicans.
But like you get like a cold open with the shark, and then it is like nothing but dangerous looking dudes for like
Come
30
on.
minutes of this movie. And then finally it's like they get out to this oil rig where like these two dudes are left there and all the other staff has been like eaten by this big megalodon fucking thing. But it's
Sure.
the black demon because these dudes are espousing a so-called like Aztec myth about this, which I think this is supposedly based on some sort of actual myth about the
Sure.
black demon that eats fishermen and whatnot. So this is what we're stealing it from.
Mm.
But so it's all this like mysticism around like, is it even a real animal or is this literally like some sort of religious hell demon? And the whole time I'm like, someone get eaten by a fucking shark,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah.
And
I
then
mean-
like what? Yeah.
No, I mean that's what I was also when I was watching the Meg, I was also saying that shark movies now. We can't just have a shark movie. It has to be like, isn't it huge? Look
I
how
know.
big it is.
Yeah.
Just get chomping, dude.
Please.
Get chomping. Like it doesn't matter the size of the shark because it's a fucking shark eating people.
Yeah, that's all I care about. Right
Any
there.
size is fine. But then it's like, he's actually this like crooked oil company guy who's been signing off all these safety forms when the rig wasn't safe. And he
Whoa.
knew it, but the oil company, you know, pressured him to sign off on it or else he'd be fired and all this fucking
So
shit.
that's a sin.
Yeah,
Is the
for
shark
sure.
involved in corporate espionage? Is that what we're talking about?
You know, if the shark was involved in anything, it would have been fucking great. But so like this is what was crazy though. Like Steve, at the same time you were texting us about like, holy shit, Nefarious is a secret Christian movie. Technically speaking, holy shit, the Black Demon is a secret Christian movie because like
The shark goes on Glenn Beck.
so bitey. No, but this is just like Josh Lucas is getting ready, and of course he's the only one that can face off against this shark.
Sure.
And he's like getting ready to do the dive, and like his little teenage dirter, like out of nowhere, grabs him by the wrist, stops the movie fucking dead, and just goes, "Hey, everybody, shouldn't we pray about this first?" And literally every alive character in this movie joins hands and says like a full-length prayer to like
and the shark starts to shrink. Like, no, you're ruining me.
The one thing that could get me, Christian prayer. I could not fucking believe it, folks. And it's abysmal. It is a real. I never gave a half star quicker to anything on Letterboxd in my life. Just garbage. And like the script is garbage. Like, and like,
Sure.
at one time, Josh Lucas was in like some good things here and there. And like, so I've seen him deliver at least like dialogue competently, but like this script is so fucking bad.
He's a really good actor. There's a not, I mean, probably now a little long ago, probably like a decade ago. There's a movie called the Mend that was really good with him in it. But I guess like I always assumed he does Lowe's, right? I assume that was good enough money for him. At this, I mean,
yeah, right.
I mean,
I
that's
guess not.
forever money, I would assume.
I don't know, man. Maybe he like felt bad, like taking the juice from Gene Hackman and quit it. Or something.
Maybe.
But yeah, and like you know, the woman who plays his wife Inez is this actress Fernanda Urejola, who some of you dudes saw in Cry Macho. I did not see that.
Hell
movie.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But she's also Narcos Mexico. She was on that Party of Five reboot.
Ooh,
You
boy.
got to watch Cry Macho.
It's so good.
It's ridiculous, but it's worth it.
It's probably better than The Black Demon.
It would have to be.
I will say that. But yeah, so stay away from those two secret movies, gang, if you see those on your rental interface, because good God Almighty, literally, sounds like there's some terrible stinkers out there. But that's going to do it, gang, for this week's On Screen Live. Of course, now, this is just the start to our week here at the WHM home office. So remember, out now, it just dropped last Thursday on our Patreon, the latest episode of Melrose 210, where we go long talking about Jim Walsh getting humiliated by his family, up close and personal.
Delicious.
Amanda Woodward being humiliated by her family, up close and personal. It's a fun as fuck episode.
Absolutely.
And then next week, tomorrow, Jesus Christ, tomorrow on the main feed, the penultimate episode of season 13 premieres. Us talking American Pie 2 with our good friend Angelica Jade Bastian, who stopped by. Here's us having a laugh. Having a laugh while doing the show.
It was a lot of fun. You guys have to tune into that.
Absolutely. So that's going on. And then on Thursday, back on patreon.com/WeHateMovies, our Star Trek recap show, The Nexus, will be dropping, talking to TOS and a TNG as we start winding down on TOS. Just a few episodes remain, but that's going to be a lot of fun. And so remember, gang, tune in. Of course, next Monday, we'll be back here at 12 p.m. Eastern on our YouTube channel for what will be the finale of On Screen Live. We're going to go on summer hiatus after next week, but what a big, bombastic, barbastic week to go on. We got Barbenheimer coming out, so we'll have reactions to those movies and a whole lot more here on Screen Live. But until next week, I've been Andrew Jupin.
Steven Sadak.
Eric Siska.
Chris Cabin.
Have a good week, folks. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.